Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have an HP laptop. This is an HP OMEN 16. The exact model is an 16-C0504, but this applies for any OMEN 16 model. And in this video I'm going to take you on a step-by-step how you can open it up and how you can clean up the thermal paste, the fan system, and everything that you should do for your maintenance. And we can see the owner of this laptop. It is pretty dirty. Look at the screen in here. It's horrible, dusty. I don't know, the dust doesn't show up in the camera. There's a missing key in here. So we're gonna open it up and we're gonna clean up the repaste, and after that, I'll be cleaning from outside too. So unfortunately, this laptop is still powers on. So if I power it on, let's go to see if it does power on. Let's go to the BIOS, F10. So we can see the BIOS is working in here, at least OMEN 16-C0 series, 16 gig RAM. It's pretty okay. At least it works still for some reason. Right, so we're gonna open it up. It was running hot. It shuts down because of thermal, the heat because it was shutting down because of the heat on the GPU and CPU. So I'm gonna go over the tools and everything that I'll be using in this video, so you can purchase for yourself. All the tools that I'll be using will be linked in the video description in case you want to purchase. All right, tool number one or two sheet of the workshop towel. I always recommend the workshop towel, and there is a reason for it. Next is an isopropyl or isopropyl alcohol, and the reason for the workshop towel is against the microfiber towel is that as soon as we put alcohol on the workshop towel and you try to clean the component, this will rip apart and will prevent damage on the components. That's why I always say use one or two sheets of this. 98-99%. Don't use anything under 98. And you need a one or two toothbrush. A soft toothbrush is good to have. A good screwdriver set. I've been using an iFixit screwdriver set. I purchased myself this basic tool set. They have one of the best screwdrivers out there. They have all the bits that you need. And you need a plastic spatula. If you get the Pro set, they will give you opening tools and tweezers and stuff like that. If not, grab yourself a metallic guitar pick. These are suitable to opening cases and covers. A straight or curved tweezers. What else do we need? Anything else if I'm being missing? Very importantly, a thermal paste. You can go whichever thermal paste you like. I'll leave the recommended thermal paste linked in the video description. One of the best ones is a PTM 7950. These are one of the best ones. Thermal paste changed, or you can use Arctic MX4 or MX6. Those are really great. Noctua, whichever you want is good. The best ones, and down to the lower, I'll leave them in the link in the video description. And with all that said, let's get into it. All right, number one, we're gonna power it off, flip it upside down, and we're gonna remove all the screws. The longest screws in the back, and there are 4 of them, and the short ones are in the front end. So we're gonna grab our Phillips number 1, and we are gonna start removing the bottom, front, and the screws. Also, if you guys like my videos, if you find my videos helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking the like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. Appreciate that. All right, once we remove the 4 short screws, we're going to go on the back. We're going to remove the long screws. The dust from here is giving me allergy. So pretty much I'm just sneezing right now. Just going to clean my nose. We're going to put some kind of mask before you work on somebody else's laptop, because you don't know what kind of dust environment they're coming from. To open the bottom case, all you need to do is to grab it always from the front end, because we know that there's not much electronics in the front end. You're going to stick the guitar pick in between the palm rest and the bottom cover, just like that. And we're just going to twist it. You're going to hear a few clips that you feel like you're breaking, but you're not breaking, just loosening up some clips. You want to just twist and wiggle it in there, and you're going to see the front end opening. And then you want to do the side. It's take about 1 or 2 millimeters. Don't stick the whole guitar pick in there. Just want to lift up the cover. You want to hear like those bones are cracking. Those are the plastics are getting loose. and work yourself toward the back, twist it, and there we go. Ooh, I see the money shot right there. So we're gonna lift out the bottom cover. You can take it outside and clean it, wash it out, leave it for dry. And look at that, horrible. Oh my God. I think you guys can see this. Look at the dust in here, like at the whole dust buildup in here, left and right side. All right, so first thing first, we're gonna disconnect the battery. To disconnect the battery, what you wanna do, you wanna put your fingers on the side of this white jack in here, and you wanna pull it towards the battery, slide it towards the battery, don't yank it up, it's straight. So I'm gonna put one of the, so you guys can see, I'm gonna put this one in here, you can put two fingers, and I'm gonna pull it back evenly. If- I just cut my nail, so I don't have a fingernail, so I'm gonna use two tweezers, and I'm gonna slide it back. It is pretty tough. There we go. And it comes out. Pretty much you have to slide it back. All right, that's how we can disconnect it. There's a some model from here can get clogged in there. Right. Next, we're gonna disconnect this cable. This one goes to the power jack. Just slide it up, pull it from the cables. Actually, the whole thing is coming out. Not the whole thing supposed to come out because it's really, because they don't do servicing. The heat from here, it gets really attached. So hold the jack, slide a little that way, a little here. So you can disconnect this one. You don't want to bring the whole jack out. So put it to one side. You want to disconnect the fan connectors. The fan connector, don't yank on the cables. Put the tweezers on the side. The same thing like this one, but you want to put it on the side in here and you want to slide it backward so you don't damage the cables. This one in here, it's right under the heatsink. So we're gonna leave it there. Once we remove the heatsink, we're gonna disconnect it. So go ahead and remove, let's say, 3 screws on the CPU. They have a little spring and they have a C-lock on them. And there should be 4 and 5 screws on the GPU section. Go ahead and just rotate because of the C-lock will not let the screw come out all the way. So it just makes a click sound. That's when you know that it's loosened up. Do everything for the rest of them. Once we loosen up this screw, I think this last one comes out entirely. Yeah. This tiny one, which is a PCH chip, I'm guessing, or power regulator, something has to be in here. I'm guessing it's a PCH chip, Southbridge. We want to remove one screw on this side of the fan, and one, there should be one over here too. It goes from the bottom casing, so yeah. So let me see. So if we leave it from here upward, it comes up and slide it up. Holy, look at that. Look at that. That's just something else. This is like a different level. I don't know how this laptop is even alive. We can take it outside, blow some air through here, use a toothbrush to clean it off. Just take it out and clean it out with a toothbrush. Look at all that. All right, I'm gonna take it outside. I'm just gonna, let me put this one to one side for now. Let's remove all this dust here. Use a face mask. Let's go ahead and remove the 3 screws on each fan. This one we already removed from the top section, so remove 3 in here and 2 on the other one. This one has a little thermal paste that goes under the, what do you call it? The hard drive in here, SSD. I forgot to disconnect it. Let's go ahead and disconnect it. Just slide it out. If yours is not coming out, remove one screw on the SSD and then slide this out. Has a little 0.1 millimeter thermal pad. You don't need to change it. All right, so I'm gonna put the fans in here too. And this one, it is pretty dirty. I'm gonna go ahead, take it outside, use a toothbrush, to just brush it off and blow some air, and I'll be back in a second. Again, I'm with the same thing with the fans. I'm gonna just use a toothbrush, just hold it in here, just brush it off slowly, gently. I'm not gonna do it here actually, and then blow some air, and it should clean up itself. All right, I took the fans outside and everything. I cleaned them up really nice, and now look at the difference between the clean fan. All the fans are clean. I use a really soft toothbrush. I brush it out. I blow some compressed air, and I cleaned it up. Look at the airways in here, nicely opened up and clean. You can actually see through here, all cleaned up. Now we're gonna do a repaste. All right, to do the repaste, all you need to do is to grab a little bit of the workshop towel. You're gonna take a little bit of workshop towel, and you're gonna put some alcohol over, and you're gonna wipe over the CPU and GPU. Don't worry about the thermal paste around the CPU or GPU. Just clean it in the crystal die. I want to make sure that this plastic is not over. No, it's not. All right. And clean the CPU too. This is the GPU this side. All right, clean the CPU and the GPU. Clean up the heatsink. Wipe it off. Now, if you guys want to change the thermal putty, these are called thermal putties over here. These are not a thermal paste. Don't use a thermal paste. I get lots of comment people asking me, can I remove the thermal putty and use a thermal paste? Don't use a thermal paste where you're supposed to use a thermal putty. Get yourself a good quality thermal putties, and you can replace yours. If yours is really dry, this one is not dry. This one is still really good, cushiony. If yours is dry, grab a new thermal putty and just grab a little hole, like a little blob of it, and just put it right on top of each component that you requires, and that's it. And just replace your thermal putty if it's needed. And don't use thermal paste where you need it. But this one is pretty okay, and you don't need it. In order to clean it, it's really easy. Just wipe over it like this, and you don't have to go really clean up anything like that. But this one is pretty good actually still. I'm gonna leave it on top. You can leave it one in the middle. It will squish itself, and it will get to its correct size. Again, depending my client that they don't want to change the thermal putty, they just want to do a repaste. That's what you're gonna do. But if you want to replace it, very simple. Just clean it up with a spatula and just put the new putty on top, and it will squish itself to the correct size. Right, and don't use a thermal pad. People say, can I use thermal pad? Don't use thermal pad, use thermal putty. That's the reason for it. All right, before we do anything, let's go ahead and put the screws for the fan. 3 screws on this right fan and 2 screws on the left fan. Now, I'm gonna put an Arctic MX4. We're gonna put one line on the main CPU and one line on the GPU. Just like that. This will get it spread out evenly all around once you put it down. So we're gonna bring the heatsink down in. First, put the back side inside in the grooves right at the back by the grip, and we're gonna bring it down. All right, just make sure once you bring it down, bring it evenly over the screw holes. Make sure all the screw holes are matching. And then what I will do, I'm gonna put one of the screws in. This screw goes from here. No, this is a flat screw, goes right in here by the heatsink. I'm gonna put that screw in there, and then I'm gonna start screwing down on an X pattern, just to cross each other. Unscrew them down across each other. For the CPU, doesn't matter wherever you start, it's just a triangle. So you start from the corner here. There's a number to it, but the numbers are there to just make sure that you do it in an X pattern. And put one last screw down here on the fan in the corner in here. Oh, I forgot to connect the fan. Always go back and connect the fan. Don't forget about this fan always. This one we can connect, but this one it is going to be tricky. So let me see if I can do it here. I can pull it out. We can plug it in here. There you go. I can just slide it down because I can see the jack. Slide it in there. It's better to put the fan connector before you put the heatsink. This side we can do it after because it is exposed. Bring the power jack connector and align it and push it down and put it in there nicely in place. All right, one last thing before we do anything else, double check, make sure everything is aligned, all the cables, everything is not getting pinched. We are going to grab the power connector, battery connector, and we're going to align it in front of the jack. And we are going to slide it in, and we're going to pinch it all the way in evenly. And to finish it off, grab the bottom piece that you cleaned up. Just put it straight over. And we are going to pinch the corners. You want to hear those nice click sounds. You want to grab them and just pinch them together. You're going to hear these big, huge click sounds. That's what you want to hear. All right, just remember the shortest screws goes in the front end and the longest screws goes on the back side. I'm going to power it on. And just because we disconnected the main battery, once you power on, it can take up to 30 seconds or 40 seconds before it boots up. It might restart twice. So I'm powering on. I see the LED on. I don't see anything on the screen yet. I might get a text saying that CMOS was reset to default. That's fine. Just press enter and it will just continue. So let's wait. It just restarted itself. It came back on. And I should see a little black text in here or a blue box in the middle somewhere. Let's wait. It restarted again. So 3 restarts. There you go. CMOS checks are invalid. Press enter to continue. Press enter. And it will boot to the Windows. But I don't want to go to the Windows. I just want to go to the BIOS. I'm just going to tap on F10. So there's no need for me to go to the Windows right now. There you go, F10 for the BIOS. Now we are inside the BIOS and RAM, everything is, the CPU, everything is working fine. Again, I hope you guys like this video and helped you guys out to do your own service and maintenance for your HP OMEN 16 model. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.